New features, even more of them, the buddy system. And so this is hugely important to the Uncharted series in multiplayer. The idea is players, we realized in our playtest that players had more fun when they were sticking together, when there was somebody who always had their back. And so we decided to try and encourage that gameplay. And so what it is that when you start a game by yourself, you'll automatically be assigned a buddy, or if you start with somebody else in your party, you'll automatically be buddies together. You can tell who your buddy is because they'll have an icon over their head. You'll actually be able to see their emblem all the time, so you can tell who they are. And what it also means is you can do different things that you can't do if you're by yourself. So you can actually spawn on your buddy. So if he's running around and he's not in combat, you can actually spawn on him anywhere he is in the map, so you can constantly have his back. Other things, you can actually, if you both take down an enemy together, you can actually run over, do a high five over their body and get extra cash, get a medal for that. You can actually put buddy boosters into your booster loadouts, which we'll talk about in a bit, that actually help you play with your buddy as well. So we think that system is really cool, and we've seen people respond to it really well. We also added late join, and this was a big deal. Basically, last game we had a problem where if people quit, the game wouldn't fill up. So it was just, it would eventually become like 1 versus 4, and that's not fun. And so in this game, if someone quits, the slot is instantly refilled with another player. And so the games constantly stay full, they constantly stay interesting. It also means we can do seamless host migration, which is something that's really amazing. If the host quits, you don't get a black screen, you don't get a load screen, you don't get anything. The game just continues as if nothing happened, and that's really, really cool. And then split screen was another huge deal for us this game. We've always been couch gamers, and we always wanted to be able to play Uncharted with somebody else sitting right next to us, and so split screen was a big deal. We decided to add that in, and it means that you can actually log in multiple PSN IDs. You have 2 PSN IDs and rank up together, sitting there playing split screen at the same time, which we think is a really big deal. It's it's one of the first, we're one of the first games to do that, and it's really cool that you can actually save your progression at your house, go to your friend's house, play together, save your progression there, and then go back to your house. Completely seamless, no problems. We also added the idea of offline, which is brand new for us. You can actually play this game without ever connecting to the internet. And so what that means is if you want to play co-op with your little brother and you don't have a Wi-Fi signal, you can actually sit down and play that and have no problems at all, which is really cool. And then stereoscopic 3D. We support this both in 2D, or in single player and in multiplayer. And this was a big deal for us as well. We decided very early on to do 3D, and when we decided that, we basically said we want to do it, as well as anybody has ever done it before. And so we do it the proper way, which is to actually render 2 images and do the full thing in stereoscopic. And we think it looks really gorgeous. We didn't sacrifice any of our visual quality to make that happen, and we're really proud of that. Okay, customize. I'll get to the cool stuff in just a second. You will see some gameplay, I promise. So customize your play. The idea of this is we have a whole new booster system. The boosters are something that allow you to sort of customize the way you play. In Uncharted 2, we saw that there were a few booster loadouts that everybody used, and so we were very careful to build the boosters this game to allow you to actually play the way you wanted to play. There's a million different loadouts that people are using online now. We're seeing tons and tons of different loadouts that are actually being used, and so we think that's a really powerful system. The boosters actually level up this game, which means that when you're playing with them, if you do certain feats using those boosters, they actually get even more added perks to them as they go along. The buddy boosters are something I touched on before, and the idea of this is you can actually use one of your booster slots, or both of them if you want, to enhance your play with your buddy. So if you use those, it actually enhances your ability to play together even more. It gives you like more cash or more ammo and stuff like that, which we think is really cool as well. And then paid boosters. This is a really neat feature. The idea is basically you have cash, you earn cash in the game, and you need something to spend that on. So you can spend it on upgrades, or you can spend it on customizable parts, or you can spend it on a paid booster. And the idea of this is it gives you a slight temporary advantage for one game. They're very expensive, so you can't afford to do them very often, but it might just give you the edge you need to win the game that you're in. And you can actually purchase these either in the interface or in the game itself. You can actually buy them from the menu. And it means that we constantly have something for people to be spending their cash on, even at the top end of the progression, which is really, really cool. And then medal kickbacks. This is something that basically, as you do something neat in the multiplayer or even in the single player, you'll earn medals in the game. And so the idea is basically, if you kill somebody while you're hanging on a ledge, you get a tricky medal, or if you kill 3 guys in a row, you get a tripled. And so what this does is, as you earn these medals, it gives you the ability to spend those medals on a one-time only sort of advantage. And these things are like, get an RPG, instantly give yourself an RPG, give yourself a shotgun, instantly respawn yourself somewhere on the map. And they're all one-time uses, and as you earn these medals, you can spend them on these things. And you can actually pick what that is inside of the menu system before you start the game. And then customize yourself. The other thing that people told us last game is they wanted even more customization. They wanted to be able to look like they wanted to look. And so we brought back all of our hero and villain characters, all the ones that we played with last game, are going to be in the game as well. So, Drake and Chloe and Elena, Lazarevich, all these people are going to be in the game. But this time we actually added in the idea of a custom character. And so you can actually build your character, both a hero and a villain, out of all the custom parts that we've got, which is hundreds and hundreds of parts, which means you can actually make your guy look, or basically your hero or villain look exactly like you want them to. And out of all those parts, you can actually customize their color as well. So it's not just the parts, it's actually the color scheme. And we think that that's really cool, that people are going to be able to go in and actually play with their look and define what they want to look like, which is really neat. And the heroes and villain characters, the named characters, can be customized as well. So you can give Drake sunglasses or Sully a hat or all kinds of different stuff like that, which is really cool. And then emblems, this is another big deal. So we wanted players to be able to express themselves even more than just what they looked like, and so we gave them the ability to make a symbol for themselves, which has 4 layers. All layers can be rotated and scaled independently. You can change the color per layer. There's hundreds of these as well, so you can make all kinds of, basically infinite number of looks for your emblem. Those emblems actually get displayed in the environment. If you're the best player in the game, it's going to show your emblem up on the wall, so everybody knows that you're the boss of that game. They also can be showed on your clothing as well, so you can actually wear t-shirts in the game that actually have your emblem on them, which is really cool. And then customize your weapons. This is another big thing. Customizing your loadout. So basically, when you start the game now, you don't just get the AK-47. You can actually pick what you want to start with. And so you get to pick your starting rifle, your pistol, your boosters, and your metal kickbacks. And we actually have 4 loadouts that you can set up that you can quickly swap between in the game itself. And we also have even more guns in this game, so you can actually pick from a number of different weapons to start with, not just the FAL and the AK like we had last game. And so we also added in the idea of weapon mods. On the guns themselves, you can modify the way the guns actually work. You can add a scope, you can add a bigger clip, you can modify some other stats on the guns, and they all have different custom looks to them as well, so you can actually see it on the weapon when you do these things. And it's really neat. You can actually see on a player a different style gun. You're like, oh, how do you get that? I want to figure out what that is. And then on top of that, we actually added the ideas of treasures and missions. So treasures this is really a really cool system. Basically, when you shoot somebody and take them down, there's a chance they're going to drop a treasure. There's also a chance when you go by a treasure chest in the map and pick up an item that you're going to get a treasure there as well. And what that means is the treasures actually add up into sets, and when you unlock these sets, they give you things. They give you more emblem pieces, they give you more custom character parts, or they give you hero weapons. And the hero weapons are something like Elena's AK-47, which has its own custom color scheme. It has mods built into it. It looks really awesome, and it gives you the ability to play with Elena with her gun, which is really, really cool. And there's tons of these in the game as well that give us a very long legs in terms of what players can earn and what they're getting for playing the game. We also had the idea of missions, and this is just to keep the players busy, give them something interesting to do, and not just play the game over and over again, which we think is cool, but the ability to play it in interesting ways. So you can start one of these missions. They're all time-based, and basically they go anything from get a certain number of kills, win this type of game, play this game type a certain number of times. There's hundreds of these things as well, and it gives players something else to concentrate on while they're playing the game, not just the actual deathmatch stuff. We have different types of these. We have instant, we have long-term. We have friend, like you and your buddy can do these missions together, and they all give you the ability to earn extra cash and rank up even faster. And so this is the last slide, I promise. The social experience is a big deal for us, and so we've always felt like it was very important for not only that we were able to communicate with our fans quickly and adequately, but that the fans communicate with each other, and that the players communicate with each other. And so deep Facebook integration was one of the first things we looked at for this game. Basically, we started looking at the PSN and how many friends do people have on the PSN, and the average is people have 1 friend on the PSN. Facebook has 750 million accounts. The average person has 120 friends on Facebook, and so those are the people we want you to play with. We want you to play with the people that you know first, and then play with random strangers later. And so the idea is you can log into Facebook in the XMB, and when you do that, the game detects it, and it'll actually show you all your Facebook friends, whether you're PSN friends with them or not. It'll show you them online in Uncharted. You can instantly join them. They can join you. You can join them and have a good time. You'll actually see their Facebook picture and their real name, so you can tell which of these friends you've already vetted through Facebook compared to the PSN stuff. We actually still support the PSN system completely. You can do it either way. So if you're friends with these people in real life and on Facebook, or even just on the PSN, you can play with these people, which is really, really cool. On top of that, we added in YouTube integration, which I'll get into in a minute. Uncharted TV, basically this is a big deal. With the YouTube stuff, we have the ability to upload videos to YouTube and to Facebook, which I'll talk about in a minute, but we also have done something which is an industry first. We can actually stream videos from YouTube into the interface. And what this does is it allows us to actually interact with our fans even faster. So if somebody puts up a cool YouTube video that we think is awesome, we'll put it in the interface and everybody who's playing the game will see it. If we have a message for our fans, we can record a video and 20 minutes later it can be up on YouTube and people will see it in the interface. It means that we have direct interaction with our fans and our players very, very quickly, and the fans will actually see the stuff that they're doing, and the players will see the stuff that they're doing as well in the community, and it's just this constant reinforcement loop, which we think is really, really cool. There's a little picture of it there. And then enhanced cinema mode. This is also a really cool deal. Basically, we want to give people the ability to, our social experience, we don't want to be cookie cutter. We don't want it to be, okay, I earned 5 trophies, I'm going to post it on my wall automatically, from the system. We want it to be people actually choosing to do these things and to pick out the moments they want to show, and then, show their friends so that their friends are impressed with those things. So cinema mode is a huge piece of this. So we added in all these tools into our cinema mode to allow people to do that. So we have rewind now, so it's very, very quick to jump back and forth down the timeline. You don't have to fast forward through the whole thing anymore. You don't have to worry about where things happen because every single player in the game actually marks their events, and you can actually see where they died and where they made all their kills, so you can jump very quickly to the cool events inside the game. You can actually make clips this time. You can set an in and an out and actually grab a clip out of a cinema file and then upload that cinema file, that clip to YouTube or to Facebook, to your wall. And on top of that, you can actually render that out and put it on your hard drive as just a file and take that anywhere you want to, which is, again, something that's really amazing. You can do it for free right out of our engine. And you can also take screenshots. Screenshots, again, go straight on the hard drive. You can take them anywhere you want, send them to your friends, put it on Facebook, put it on your desktop, whatever you want to do. And so then, again, upload directly to YouTube and Facebook. Because this stuff is so direct, what we wanted to make sure was that it felt like when you uploaded these things, again, we wanted you to be able to react to the people that knew you. And so posting things on your Facebook wall, you can actually post these extra treasures that you've earned and things like that. And you can actually earn cash on Facebook for our multiplayer experience just by being friends with people on Facebook. So that was the end of the very quick presentation, as fast as I could possibly do it. And now we're going to actually play the game for you. I'm going to show off some of the Desert Village footage. And I'll jump in right now.